is that, again, they went for comfort because Glenn Close wrote an amazing song for Albert Nobbs that was nominated for Golden Globes and a couple other things that they ignored and did not nominate. There was also a really great song for the film Win-Win that was not nominated.
It was a lovely song from The Help. What's happened to this category, it was created in the 30s when there were lots of original musicals. And so we, Somewhere Over the Rainbow won this award, Chim Chim Cheree won this award. In recent years, it could have been retyped Best Song to be played over the final credits, because that's where the original songs were placed. And so it's a category you have to wonder a little bit about, because in some cases, certainly these nominees, they were used in the film, and then you have the ones that are played over the final credits.
And like Madonna won the Best Song at the Golden Globes and wasn't even nominated here. So.
Golden Globe alert.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't review animated.
So Travis is going to pick.
Yeah.
That's going to be Man or Muppet from the Muppets.
Pretty obvious.
That's not much of a stretch either.
Yes, I agree.
I can't believe the dumbing down.
Right.
I mean, if it wasn't for the visuals, I mean, that's just a regular songbook. Well, how can that be even nominated? Who chooses that?
Right.
The music branch does, and it's been quite controversial many times. It was controversial in the 70s when Saturday Night Fever, do you remember that film?
Yeah.
None of the songs were nominated. New York, New York, Great Standard Oil, not nominated. And so the music branch has always been controversial. But this year, I think Man or Muppet actually will be an Oscar piece of Oscar trivia, because it only has 3 words in its lyrics. Am I a Muppet or a man or a man or a Muppet? And it doesn't even have words. So it's
and so the music category uses the same preferential ballot like the Best Picture. So they have all these songs. They have like 20 songs, and they go down there and rank them. And if each one doesn't get a certain percent, it's not allowed to be nominated. So evidently, only those 2 from all the people that voted got enough nominations to make it forward.
yeah.
Which
it is really pathetic. The only good news is we don't have to watch any production of those songs, which would be horrible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine all the birds and having to clean them
on the flip side of that, the Best Original Score isn't actually a very exciting category. And, obviously that's a very important, integral part of the film. And you have only one animated film there, which I was very happy with. I think the artist is going to take this, because obviously the music is so important.
I think it should win. I think there is a potential for backlash, and for those of you who've seen The Artist, in the climactic scene, that's not original music, it's the score from Vertigo by Bernard Herrmann, which is one of the most famous scores ever written. And there has been, in the blogosphere, some backlash that the director chose, instead of using original music during that sequence, to lift this Bernard Herrmann score. In fact, Kim Novak, who has not made headlines in years, went on a rampage about stealing the music from her movie. But I think it should be The Artist.
Yeah. I think it should be The Artist too, and I don't understand the backlash of using Vertigo. I mean, movies use songs from other stuff all the time. Why?
John Williams steals from himself all the time, and he did it in War Horse. It's like, I've heard that.
I mean, like the soundtrack to Shame, I mean, it's just like another version of Thin Red Line's Journey to the Line. It's just done differently.
I think people somehow, like the Vertigo thing, I think it adds to it.
It did. It was
people that know it. And fit that film. Filming that was going on at the time. I think it adds to it.
Well, part of the fun of that movie were all the things that it was borrowing. It was borrowing from everybody. It borrowed the plot. It borrowed the dog. It borrowed from everybody. It's interesting just if that will enter into this.
What's their next category?
Are we to the right one? We
haven't done sound editing.
Oh, the sound categories.
Now, that's what I probably have been asked more about what the difference between sound editing and sound mixing. It's probably the most often asked question. And in my interpretation, I think I looked this up. And sound editing, I sometimes get them mixed up. But I think sound editing is the editing of special effect. I mean, the sounds, correct, Travis?
That sounds about right, the way they take the special effects and do it with, edit it in with the dialogue.
Or, yeah, like if a car door closes, did that sound realistic? Did that sound, that kind of stuff. Whereas sound mixing is the mixture of...
And the quality.
The quality, exactly. The sound mixing actually used to just be called the sound.
Right, right. It was usually won by musicals.
And most of the time you will see the same nominees in those categories, most of the time. And this is the only category you're going to see one of mine and Travis's favorite movies, Drive, in there. So the only nomination was in sound editing.
So I think Hugo's going to win both of them.
I don't. I think Transformers might get sound editing because a lot of times, because those tech people, in the past, Transformers has won the sound award before. This is the third Transformers movie, and it has won that award before. And so a lot of times, the bigger, the louder the movie, that's where that one summer movie will win an award. So I think Transformers will probably win sound editing, but that Hugo will win sound mixing.
Yeah, I can see that. And like with Transformers, I think of this best sound categories, however much the sound makes your ears bleed. If it makes you bleed the largest, then that's probably going to win this.
This is also a really good time to go get something from the refrigerator, because as interesting as these categories are, and as essential, these speeches talk a lot about microphones and things, so it's a good time to be.
And also, again, the girl with the dragon tattoo could end up winning both of those because
they'll want to throw at bombs.
Yeah.
And then to a great category, visual effects.
Yes.
Visual effects has a lot of good nominees, especially you have Transformers, which has been there before, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Hugo, Real Steel, and the one that I think is going to take it is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. The work that Weta Digital did, the way they've improved since Lord of the Rings to now, you definitely see the difference.
And apes are always good for pictures, so you can't vote against apes.
Well, the reason that we're all saying Rise of the Planet of the Apes, there's a whole big controversy, again, for the users who don't watch and read these blogs like I do. They've been really trying to push for these actors that do these motion capture performances, as Andy Serkis did. He's the guy that played Gollum in Lord of the Rings. He was the actor that was playing the ape, but the Oscars haven't decided how they're going to fit that into their categories as awarding the actor that actually gives that performance. So a lot of people are going to vote for Rise of the Planet of the Apes as a way of awarding that that performance, right?